What's up, Periscope? It's your girl back. No longer Amanda Love. I'm now going by Amanda Amore, so that's the new name. I'm sure y'all like, okay, so you've been gone for like 3 days and now you like new name, who this? Yeah, basically like that's where we at. So anyone who's joining, welcome. I am now known as Amanda Amore, which means the same thing for those of you. Hey, what's up, Kurt? Thank you so much for joining. For those of you who know Spanish, or you may be familiar with a little bit of Spanish, amor means love. So it means the same thing. I just figured, hey, you know, it is what it is. So I love that you love the topic already. Thank you to everyone who's joining on my regulars. I see a lot of people getting on. Look at God. It's great. Please invite your followers. Thank you so much. That person just invited your followers. And please make sure to double tap on the screen for hearts. I see you also doing that. Thank you so much. I really need you guys to do that for me. My goal for the end of April was to get 1,000 followers. That didn't happen. Only simply because I wasn't on for like almost 4 days, and then I was like trying to get 1,000 followers in one night. Yeah, right, that wasn't gonna happen. But I see a lot of you guys joining and also inviting your followers. Thank you so much. Again, if you don't know how to, by clicking the little bottom, you'll see I call it the green bean, but it's in the bottom right hand corner. It's a little rectangle with the 3 dots. You'll be able to share that with your followers on Twitter, Facebook. I don't have either or, so please share on those platforms. And also here on Periscope, I would greatly appreciate it, all right, for anyone who would need this. So thank you so much to everybody that's coming on. I appreciate you. What's up, JV Da Vinci? I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this message. I love that you guys are coming on. You guys are loving it. So yeah, I haven't been on here since Monday. It feels like it's been forever, but it really hasn't been that long. For those of you who are not following me, make sure you follow me on Instagram because you'll see me on there more often. It's The Influence of Love. Same name is here. When you click the link in my bio here on Periscope, it'll take you straight there. So that way you guys can keep up with me. What's up? What's up? So this video is going to stay for 24 hours. Keep that in mind. So it's not going to get deleted right away. But again, it's my 24-hour scope. I'm a topic behind from last week. It's cool if you guys don't have Instagram. It's just for those of you who do. I'm just on there more than I am on here. But regardless, you guys will still see me on here. I'm supposed to be on here. So I'm going to hopefully get caught up on my weekly scope. You guys know those are the ones that I typically, you're saying what makes them want to change their formula. I'm going to get into all of that. Sorry, guys. I'm just, wrapping up a couple things here. Dang it, it just left me. When I started thinking about too many things, and next thing I know, like, what was I just saying? Yeah, so yeah, what I was going to try and say is that, no, the video is going to stay up for 24 hours, the video, but not me. I can't stay up for 24 hours. That just don't go with it. Not here on Periscope. I love y'all, but, as y'all know who are always on here, I have weekly topics. So I have topics that I really go into depth on, I really elaborate on. Those can be sometimes almost an hour. This should only be like, my 24-hour scopes, unless I have a lot of time, they should only be for like, honestly, like 30 minutes or less. That's what I was aiming for. So yeah. But anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into this because I see a lot of you guys are eager to hear what I have to say. So like you guys saw from the title, I want to make sure I wrote it right here. People don't just change, they have to want it. And I wanted to put want in capital letters, but I forgot to do that. So here's the reason why, right? Very often, we're the type of people that we are, as people, let's say, right, we always say this like, oh, people can change. Yes, every person can change, but first and foremost, you have to want to change, and that is where the real problems lie, because there are a lot of people who don't want change. There are a lot of people who just don't want that thing. They don't want it, and they don't feel that they have to change, and they feel that as long as they can get people to just deal with them the way that they are, this is how I am, and I don't really, if you like me, like me. If you don't, it's my way or the highway. A lot of people are not going to change. Now, I want to start with the first issue and the problem as to why a lot of people think people are capable of change, or why change will eventually happen for some people. And a lot of people feel that variable is time, okay? Time can bring people into a change of heart. Having kids is another one. People are like, oh, once they have, another person in the picture, they're in a relationship, they won't be as selfish, and they'll realize like they need to change certain things. But here's the thing, right? Time can work, but time is not like a deciding factor, like the end of all be all for a person to change. No, time is not it. Anyone who's joining, thank you so much for joining. Please double tap on the screen for hearts and invite your followers. And if you're not already following me, make sure to do so on here if you guys like this topic. So listen, time does not make a person change, period. It just does not. They have to choose. Changing is a choice. It's the same way when people say, oh, I've said this very often. A very wise woman I once heard say this, and she said, lots of times people say time heals all. It's actually not really true. Time does not really heal all. and you know, people say because you know the years go by and you'll get over stuff, but for a lot of people, they may have experienced a death in their family. They may have been something very traumatic that happened to them, and they're still living as if that just happened to them yesterday. It hasn't gone away. Why? Because people don't work towards a healthy way of healing and towards getting over their problems and towards, you know, just realizing that that's in the past and they don't have to live there anymore. So time really doesn't heal all. It is a choice to want to heal. It is a choice to want to change. And a lot of people don't want change because it requires them to do a lot, to work on what's wrong with them. And when you can just stay the way you are and find people who can conveniently just deal with your dysfunctions, why would you want to change? Now, for some of us, we're like, okay, well, I don't like being dysfunctional. I want to be better. I want to grow. I want to do better in life. I want to, because here's the thing, right? Some people think it's actually easier to stay stuck, but it's actually a lot harder to keep trying to, you know, live with something that you don't have to live with and act out on things that happened to you when you were a child, or things that, you know, that you don't have to keep dragging over and over. And then it's like 1 second you're pissed and you're upset because you realize that you're your worst enemy, and then you don't just want to realize that, hey, you could just change that. You don't have to be a certain way just because you've been that way all this time. Like, you can adapt, you can evolve, you can change. You don't have to stay that way. A lot of people don't know that, right? And so they do realize that they are in their own way, but, you know, they're their own worst enemy. And it's a lot easier to, like I told y'all, and I put this video up on Monday. I ended up deleting it because it was a 24-hour scope. But it's better to take the blame for things. It's better to realize, like, I'm in my own way. Or if I unfortunately was placed in a situation where I was born into a situation where people didn't have my best interests at heart, or maybe right now I'm around people that they keep bringing drama into my life, it's because you're allowing it. Whatever you allow in your life will remain there unless you make changes. And I mean drastic changes at that. If you're not happy and if you're not, you know, in a place where you feel as though, okay, these things are up to par. You know what the problem with a lot of people is? It's like, you don't know who you are. You don't know what you want. Therefore, you allow anything and everything in your life. Oh, well, you know, this person's a good person. Yeah, right. They're a good person, but yet they're wreaking havoc in your life, okay? Your whole life is up in shambles, and you want to continue to make excuses for things that are not working or functioning, and that's a problem. And the main issue there is not the person that's wreaking the havoc in your life, but the fact that you're allowing them to do it. The fact that you are not giving them a cut off. The fact that you don't set up boundaries. The fact that you're not like, hey, that's cool if you want to run around and go do that to someone else. And even at that, that's still not cool, but just don't do it to me. And I'm not going to allow it. And I'm going to set a standard in my life that doesn't make me a bad person. That doesn't make me rude. That doesn't make me a witch. That just means that I don't want this. I don't want this. That's it. I don't want this. I don't feel that I deserve it. And here's the thing. A lot of people have no standards. They're rah. They're, oh, I ain't finna stand for this, and I'm not going to deal with that. Yeah, but you still deal with things and people, and you attract just utter trash into your life, to put it bluntly, you know? And I'm sorry if I sound very passionate about it. This just really came to me earlier. And it is a frustration of mine because I am a fond believer that any and every person can change. We are all capable of that thing. But it is one thing to have potential, and it is another thing to act on the potential that you have. It is two different things. What's up, Matt Hobbs? Thank you so much. I hope you're having a good day too. So listen, just getting into my second point here, right? People also don't change for others. They must change for themselves. This is another big issue that a lot of people don't understand. If you're still watching, please double tap on the screen for hearts, and please invite your followers by clicking on the green bee in the bottom right hand corner. People don't realize that, you know, and I so often, I'm pretty soon gonna put this on my social media, you know, I realize that I say people a lot when I do my videos on here, when I do stuff on, you know, on Instagram. It's always people. Why do I talk about people all the time? Why is it always about people? Because your whole life is made up out of human interaction. And until you get really good at knowing what you can and cannot interact with, you will suffer in this life. And let's say you won't suffer at the hands of getting, you know, physically beaten, or, you know, enslaved, or I don't know, like just so much turmoil. But there are certain things that people can steal from you. Blessings, peace of mind, a good life. A person can steal that from you because you allow them into your life, and they're taking over everything that you should rightfully have authority over, and you don't, because you let someone else rob you of your blessings, of the things that you can have if you were just to take them out. And here's the thing, you don't realize how much you're in bondage to a situation and to a person until you walk away, until you realize, like, wow, I could have stayed there and things would have never changed had I not made the decision to decide that I didn't want that and that I wanted to change. One thing about me, and I'm sorry I'm getting off topic really quick, but one thing about me, I got to a point in my very early 20s, I was probably like 21, 22, okay? And I realized that although I didn't want to have a lot of negative things in my life, I just kind of did. I just did. Without even realizing, without even being super aware of it, there was a lot of negativity in my life. I had negative people. And therefore, when you're around negativity, you're going to feel like everything in your life is negative. You're going to always speak out of negativity. And here's the thing, right? It never fails. Misery loves company. Okay? The saying does not change. It is what it is. People who are miserable want to make other people around them miserable. They want to be around other miserable people. If you have good things going for you, they're not going to really be sincerely happy for you. They're going to want to wish that you're in the same predicament and in the same hole that they dig themselves into. If there's one thing that I realize about people who refuse, and I mean refuse to take accountability, okay? They don't like people that hold them accountable for their actions, and they like to always act as if they're always forever in this hole in the ground. But the thing is, this is the thing. It's not that other people have dug them into that hole. They dig themselves into a hole, okay? They scoop out all that dirt, shove it all out, right? And then they sit themselves in there, and then they cry as to why they can't get out. When they got a ladder right next to them. When they got everything that they need, when they have all the resources, all the ability to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, ask for help. But they wouldn't do that either because they're prideful. And pride is something. It is something, because pride has to be one of the most ugliest human emotions, because it makes you think that you're okay when you're not. When you are, I mean, all the way wrong. Wrong. With a capital W. Okay? R-O-N-G. You're wrong. But pride will blind you. You know how I say love is blind? So is pride. It is so blind. Because there are people that they are so dead set on calling something love, and it's not love. Not today, not tomorrow. It's not going to be love next week. The week after, it's never going to be that thing. But here's the thing. If you don't want to come to the conclusion that you are the very person, the reason why you have yourself losing, it's not what other people are doing. It's what you allow. It's what you are allowing. That is the problem with so many people that love to complain, love to talk about their problems. I realize it's a choice to complain. I realize that it's a choice to see who you're going to allow to your life and who you're not. The problem is, as people, as individuals, say, no, because that's my loved one, that's so-and-so. No, you feel, and you have let people make you believe that they are obligated. You are obligated to deal with their dysfunction. You are obligated to constantly be around havoc and craziness and upright buffoonery, stupidity, dumb stuff. You have made yourself believe and allowed them to think that it's an obligation when it's not. It is a privilege. When you understand that you're loved and who you are as a person, it is a privilege for people to be in your presence. You're going to treat people that way. You're going to understand that people are going to either have to respect you or they're going to have to walk. It's one or the other. It is simple. Life is easy. We complicate these things because we get all caught up in the emotions and the feelings and the memories, and that's beautiful. And when you pick up a picture and you look at somebody, the memory will always remain. It will always be there. But people change. They change. Some people for the better, some people for the worse. If you're still on here, please continue to double tap on the screen for hearts. I greatly appreciate it. And please invite your followers. All right. So like I was saying, right? People don't change for others. They have to change for themselves first. This is the problem. A lot of people think, no, I got back with them and we decided to mend things up because, it's been 3 months. Okay. But in those 3 months, did you see any real changes in them? Yeah, there was like this one little change that happened. Here we come in a week later, they haven't changed. And they're back to complaining about the same stuff. And it's the same problem, it's the same issue, it's the same. Listen, if it's the same thing, why do you expect it to be different? Just because 3 months went by? Matter of fact, think about this. And I read this years ago. My God. How hard is it for you to cause a change? Think about something that you're really, really bad at. For instance, I'm going to take a sip of this water. I'm really bad at drinking water. I mean, really, really bad. It's to the point that my doctor told me you need to drink more water because clearly you're not drinking enough, all right? And here's the thing. I only drink water when I'm thirsty. I really don't feel the need to drink 10 glasses of water a day, right? but it's been a bad habit of mine. So I've come to the groundbreaking conclusion, because some days I'll drink like 4 bottles, some days I'll be lucky if I drink 1. I'm like, I need to keep, for instance, our phones, right? It is so easy for us to keep our phones on hand. We always got our phone in our hand. Everybody always got their phone on them. But I was like, you know what? I need to keep my phone close and my water bottle closer, because apparently I don't be drinking enough water. And if I don't wake up with the water bottle next to me and I don't carry it in hand everywhere I go, I'm not going to fix this issue and this problem. And this is the thing. People, we need to be intentional about the change that we want to see. If you are bad at a thing, you need to make sure that you make steps and choices that help you get to where you need to get to, that help you get the result that you need. If I'm not good at drinking water, I need to have the water next to me at all times. And if it's something that's bad for me, if he would have told me, you know what, it's bad for you to eat this or eat that, then I need to rid myself of that thing. Let it go. It's not working. And this is the problem, right? We think that we have the ability and the capability. Oh, I just love them so much, and I just do this and I just do that. And you think that you love in such a grand manner that's going to cause change onto any person, that you sit here and you lay out your whole life for them. If they jump off a cliff, you'll go save them. But it wouldn't be the same way the other way around. And so this is what I don't understand. We people who are so empathetic and who you just have such a heart, you're always coming through for people who are selfish. You want to be so selfless, but you don't understand that you are always doing it for selfish people. And if the person is selfish, they don't deserve what you're giving them. It doesn't matter how beautiful you love them. It doesn't matter how cute a gift you get them. It doesn't matter if you save them from killing themselves. They will not care. And time will not change that thing. So think about it. If you are bad at a thing, which is what I was trying to say, I'm sorry because I started rambling and talking about some other stuff. If you are bad at a thing, if it is hard for you to do something, how much more harder do you think it is for someone else? If it is so hard for you to change, how much more for the other person, especially the person who's not even trying? Because here's the thing, right? People can change, yes, if they want to change, like the title says. But the problem is that we don't realize that if you don't want it, and I mean desperately want it, like I need to change this. If you don't want it, you're not going to change. The problem with selfish people is they only want something if it benefits them. If it benefits them in a selfish way. I only want you around so I don't feel lonely. I only want your help because I can't get it myself. I only want this from you because if I didn't have you, who else would I leech off of? And so we need to get smart. Anyone who's joining, thank you so much for joining. Please continue to double tap on the screen for hearts if you like what I'm talking about. And make sure to follow me and invite your followers. Thank you to everyone who's coming on Live with Lovely. Thank you for inviting your followers. So here's the thing, right? We got to get smart. You got to get smart. Stop being stupid. Like, I cannot put it no other way for y'all. Let's not be stupid about stuff. Because it is dumb on our part. And it does us no good when we realize that we sit here, we love people, and we give away love as if it's not, like, as if love is not costly, as if it doesn't cost us to love, as if it doesn't cost us to give our last. It costs you something. And that's why every time you deposit and you make, I'm sorry because it's coming to me, you make an investment into someone and your investment ends up coming back to you empty. You don't get nothing back. You don't get respect. You don't get support. You don't even get loving words back from the people that you invest your time in. You wonder as to why you feel so frustrated. And you wonder as to why you feel like you're always wasting your time. Why do I always feel like no matter what I do, it's not enough? Because you're giving it to the wrong person. That's why. You're giving away yourself to people and things who don't appreciate you. And you need to be around those who do. Because I promise you, if you feel appreciated, if it's a reciprocal thing, it's not hard. It's not hard. But the problem is that we don't realize that, right? And so someone's not going to change just because it's been 5 months. Hell, people could a whole year go by and how much more different are you from last year? I mean, depending on how many changes you're making, because I can say one thing to y'all, I change at such a fast rate because I'm always making changes. I've confronted more fears in this year, and I've done more things that freak me out than I did last year. And even last year, I was doing stuff that freaked me out. I was always pushing myself and getting out of my comfort zone. But people that you see that are comfortable, they're not going to change. They like where they're at. Even if they complain about it every day, even if they say life sucks, they like their misery. It's all they know. It's all they want to know. Okay? And if that's where they want to be, let them stay there if that's what they want. But at the end of the day, I love it. Repentance, returning to God in Jesus' name. It's a mess. Exactly. If you don't want to repent, if you don't want to change, then it's not going to happen. And here's the thing. People say, oh, well, God understands. Yeah, God understands. But God also wants you to be remorseful for your actions. God wants you to forgive. God wants you to move on. God is not just like, oh yeah, I get it. You know, life's hard. Yeah, he knows that, and he has mercy over us, thankfully. Thank God he has mercy, right? How many times did I just make excuses for my actions because I didn't know no better? But here's the thing, right? When you say, oh, well, yeah, I messed up, but, you know, God understands. Did you even go and pray on him? When you do did you even feel bad to where you were like, God, you know, God, forgive me, and I'm going to try my absolute best to never do that again? No, people don't even do that. They're just like, oh, you know, they just tell people, yeah, you know, God knows. What does God really know? You don't even talk to him. You don't even pray to him. Unless you are in a pickle, unless you are stuck and you're like, oh, God, please come through for me because, you know, I can't do it no more. It's not until you sit here, you open the doorway all the way to the devil, you letting all the demons, you letting all the crap into your life, and now you on hands and knees, God help me. But meanwhile, you didn't even, the devil got a whole foothold in your life, and you just let him swing that thing right on open. Like it's nobody's business. And you wonder as to why you feel like you're always living in hell. And why it's so hard, and why it seems like getting to heaven is just so hard. Because it requires something out of you, that's why. It requires. It does. It really does. It requires something out of you. Just a little something. Okay? This video will stay up for 24 hours. I always do videos like this though. If you're not already following me on Millionaire Cole, make sure to do so. I have to work on the YouTube. You guys are asking me so much about the YouTube. I got to. God looking at me like, girl, if you don't get them YouTube videos. I do beauty. I have The Influence of Love is my YouTube. You guys want to follow. But listen, I have not done videos like this just yet on there. So keep in mind that I will be. So I don't know, God hasn't really put it on me to upload my Periscopes on today. I don't really want to upload my Periscopes, to be honest, but I will do my own set of videos on there. But y'all gonna have to give me time, because I do beauty, makeup and beauty on there is what I started doing. But I realized I need to do more of these type of videos because y'all be really liking it. Hey, everybody else is on here, please double tap on the screen for hearts. I'm not done. I'm almost finishing though, because this video shouldn't be so long. But what I want to tell y'all, right? Never think that you could love somebody into wanting to change. Never let a person convince you that because they love you, they're going to change for you. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Here's the thing, right? When a person wants to change, they'll change. But they have to change for themselves first, is what I'm telling y'all. Yes, when you love a person and you realize, like, wow, I have an issue and I have a problem. But people can be our motivation to change. But your real motivation should be for you to change for yourself. Because the issues that you have are really your issues. They're not someone else's issues, right? And so we have to really look at ourselves. And we have to really realize, like, what is it about me that I can't seem to get it together in this area, right? I can't make it about, you know, putting it on others to help me change. Or putting it on others like, well, it's just that it's so hard for me because yada, yada, yada. You know? It just doesn't make sense, y'all. And it really pains me that a lot of people think that people would just change because, oh, you know, it's been a couple years and, you know, they're just young now, and people could live their whole life in a hellhole, their whole life. And what's so crazy, I remember my boyfriend told me this once, and he's like, you know what is like, it just really like dawned on me one day. He told me, he was like, what's enough to you isn't enough to somebody else. Somebody else, they will sit here, walk hand in hand with the devil. And it's like whatever to them. It's whatever. This devil could be taking, this person, whatever the situation, could be taking everything from them. And it's like they don't care. It's like it's straight. It's alright. I can deal with it. They will sit there. They will deal with it all day long. Meanwhile, you would have gave up on day one. You would have been like, oh no, Lord, take this thing from me. You would have been running for the hills. And the thing is that people love to make their bed, but they don't want to lay in it. You don't want to lay in it. You made that thing. You go on and you lay in it now because you ain't got no other choice. It's not your circumstances. It's not. You can't spend your whole life blaming your mom and your daddy for what they didn't teach you, for what they did wrong to you, for some friend, for some ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, your wife, husband. You can't spend your whole life blaming other people for your problems, for the things you brought onto yourself. Because as an adult, you have to take this thing called responsibility. And if there's one thing that I realize about a lot of people, everybody want to be grown. Everybody want to act like they're an adult until it's time to change and until it's time to admit that you're wrong. That you're wrong. Nobody wants to be an adult when it's time to take responsibility. Nobody wants to say, yeah, because everybody think it make you an adult because you sit where I'm sitting at in the back of in front of a steering wheel, or I drive, so I'm grown. Oh, I got a credit card with some money on it, so I'm grown. Oh, I go to work, I got a 9 to 5, so I'm grown. None of that stuff makes you grown. None of it. Yeah, you could be a little responsible. Yeah, you could have something you could pay some bills, but that don't make you grown. Being grown, being an adult, is taking responsibility for your actions. Is when you're wrong and you say, okay, I'm wrong. You right. And I should change. And I'm going to make steps towards changing. And I'm going to realize that I can either be my own hindrance or I could be my own help. But I can't sit here and make excuses for stuff that I know I do. I can't. Right? So at the end of the day, we really have to sit here and we have to realize that that's the truth. That's the truth. And a lot of people are not going to want to hear it. A lot of people are not going to want to be mindful of the fact that they do these types of things. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. If you don't want to change, if you want to continue the way that you're going, it will be what it will be. That's that. That's that. So listen, again, just to finish off here, every person is capable. Every single person is capable, but that doesn't guarantee that they will make the changes. You can be capable all day long. We all have the capability. We can all change. Every single last one of us. But if we don't desire, if we don't want it, if we don't fall in love with the idea of changing and realizing that change is the only thing that makes us better, change is the only thing that brings us into a place of winning. A lot of people love to hate on others, but they just like to hate on them because they're not brave enough to just admit that they're wrong. They're not brave enough to get the help that they need, even if they're just bad at the thing. So when people can't do something, I say this all the time. I say this all the time. People hate on what they cannot do and who they cannot be. That is the only reason why they're going to hate. Simple as that. Who they cannot be and what they cannot do. As long as that's the case, they will hate on you. You will think, I had various times in my life where I thought I'm a nobody. I was at some of the worst points in my life. I was the most insecure. I had nothing going for me. It was horrible. My life was literally to me like a living nightmare. Like, who would want my life? Who would want to be me? Nobody. And you would think that at those times you would have nobody hating on you, you would have nobody coming after you, nobody feeling no type of way about you. No, I say it all the time. I say it again. People will hate on you because your head a little smaller than theirs, because your ears a little straighter on your head, because I don't know, you got your nails done, or it could be the dumbest stuff. Because you were born on a certain time or a certain year, because you just happen to be a little younger looking than they are. It could be anything and everything. And if people feel a certain type of way about something, that's how they feel. That's how they feel. And you can't take that from them. So as us, we have to realize that if a person, we've been around people, we've been around situations, we've seen certain things 100 times over. What is the common denominator to the problem? Anyone that's joining, please double tap on the screen for hearts, and also please invite your followers. I greatly appreciate it. What is the common denominator? We have to realize and we have to pick up, what is it? Most of the times is that people don't want to see an issue in their actions. They don't want to admit things. It's that simple. You start doing that, you'll stop losing in life. You'll start winning. That's why I explained the other night. It benefits you to take the blame. It benefits you to say, you know what? I'm going to stop being like everybody else and expecting that other people are going to understand, other people are going to get it. Like, if I'm the only one that could put me on, if I'm the only one that can make my life better, then I'm going to be the one that's going to do that. I'm not going to wait on somebody else to do for me what I should be doing for myself, period. And that's why a lot of people don't experience any type of success in life, because they're always trying to see who's gonna give them a helping hand. They're always trying to look for a handout. Always. And then they want to talk about how successful and how great they are, but you don't give credit where credit is due. There's a lot of stuff you wouldn't have if it wasn't for the fact that someone else helped you along your way. So give the credit where the credit is due. And realize that if you're not good at something, that's okay, but you don't have to sit here and put on and pretend. Because it's obvious, we can see it. We can see it. And it's just amazing to me, just to finish here, because I really want to wrap this up, but it is just amazing to me how, people just love to say that, but they could change, people change. Yeah, they could change, but they have to want to change. They have to see the need even to change. Because if you don't see a need, why would you do it? If you don't see it as a necessity, if you could keep screwing over every person who would let you screw them over, if you could keep finding more people who can't tell the difference, who can't see you for who you really are, then you're not going to change, right? Until people are forced, until they're between a rock and a hard place, they're not going to change, period. If you keep facilitating people who are narcissistic, people who are selfish, people who only think about themselves, people who their whole life, the world revolves around them and their problems. They don't see all the hell everybody else goes through, or it's like they do and they don't care. Then a person like that, what do you expect from them? What do you expect? This is why it's so important that if there are people and you see that they have a lot of problems, you need to back up. You need to back up. And you need to also, not even just that, thank you so much. Please continue to double tap on the screen for hearts if you're enjoying this. You need to honestly, some people, they are such a lost cause that at this point they need therapy, and deep therapy at that. They need to really sort through their life problems. And some people are not going to want that thing. You know why? Because it's going to make them have to confront the truth. And everybody says they want the truth, but not everybody can't handle the truth. You can't handle it. You don't want the truth because the truth isn't always pretty. But one thing about the truth, when you come into contact with it, that thing will set you free. And a lot of people, they always talking about how they feel stuck and they're all wrapped up in their bondage that they put themselves in. You don't really want to be free. There's a cost to it. And sometimes the cost is you admitting it and you making a change. You got to make some type of sacrifice. You got to do something. But you can't sit there and spend your whole life thinking, well, you know, time's going by, so maybe just one day the change will just like land on me and I'll just change and things will just be different. No, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that, period. If you want to see changes in your life, it is on you to make the changes. What do I have to do? What do I have to change? How do I have to speak about myself? What do I have to allow into my life? What do I have to let go of? Because one thing that I realized, when a person gets into a transition and you start realizing things about your life, you start getting rid of some stuff. There's too much stuff in my life right now. It's not working for me. It's working against me. We need to let go of some stuff. And then there's some stuff that you have to also realize that it's not really people, it's you. It's you. Oh, well, it's just everybody's always a distraction in my life. Are they a distraction, or are you letting them be a distraction? We have to know, we have to be able to differentiate, because you can't kick everybody and everything out, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes, yes, when you are in a place of focus, you need to be worried about you. And you need to stop trying to control everything and everyone around you. And, oh, you know, so-and-so, they just struggle a lot in their life. Yes, but so-and-so going to have to figure out so-and-so life at some point. You can't sit there and live other people's lives for them just because they've chosen to be bad at the thing. Chosen. Not even trying. Because if a person is trying, you could see that. And you could respect that. And you could honor that. But when someone is not even putting effort into what they want to do, why should I break my back? Why should I sit here and drag your life into mine just because it doesn't make sense. So I really urge to finish here. I'm really finishing now. I really urge every person, if you like this video, if this really spoke to you, please double tap on the screen for hearts. Please follow me. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much for this super heart. Listen, but keep in mind, okay, change doesn't just happen. Change is a choice. Change is a decision that you make. Something that goes off in your mind and you say, man, I gotta change that. And you make steps. You don't just say and you think and, oh yeah, I should change. No. You make steps. I mean, aggressively make steps to doing it. You do something. You have to be intentional. If not, it's not gonna happen just because you wish, or because it sounds nice, or because wouldn't it be cool, or wouldn't it be, no. Yeah, it would be nice. Why don't you go ahead and start? It's a lot easier to talk about it, and it's another thing to do it. And another thing, when you are a person that you are changing a lot, and I'm going to get into that message at another point, it offends people. You know why it offends them? Because they realize that they're not capable of that thing. They'll sit there, they'll judge you, they'll put you down, they'll have a lot to say, but the one thing that they won't do that you're doing is to actually change. And that, my friends, that is the secret to everything in life. That is success in itself. If you are willing to change and adapt and to take responsibility, sky's the limit. You're past the sky. You in outer space. You're going to go someplace and you're going to do some things. While other people stay in routine and they stay in what they're used to. And, oh, but this is what we do. Yeah, that's what y'all do. I do something different. I don't want to be like y'all. I don't want to be the same. I don't want to do what everyone does. I'm sorry, I don't. Y'all want to go left, I'm going to go right. You going uptown, I'm going downtown. That's it. I don't want to do it the same, because I realize doing everything the same and being like everybody else, never suited me, never did nothing for me. So if we want to be better in life, we have to do better. We have to see better. We have to pay attention to what the stuff that everybody else not pay attention to that's obvious, that I could see it. But everybody don't want this thing called life. Everybody don't want to really live. A lot of people just existing. We got the Walking Dead out here, zombies. People who are like, yeah, it's true, and okay, and you go right back to your dirt. You go right back to your vomit. You go right back to your dysfunction. You go right back to the very thing you spend every single day complaining about. You got sicknesses. You always got a dang headache. Everything is always going crazy. Your whole life up in flames, and you're the person that's supposed to take the fire extinguisher and extinguish it out. But you want to talk about how, oh, I'm waiting on everybody else. Wait no longer. You need to do it. You need to make the change. And whoever don't like it, too bad. Let them live in dysfunction. Let them do what they want if that's what they want to do. God gave us free will for a reason, okay? And last I checked, I don't got to be up in bondage. Last I checked, I don't got to be living my life as though everything got to be horrible just because, or, you know, I have an obligation to deal with so-and-so. I don't have no obligation to no person unless God puts it on me. I'm not finna lose my peace, my sanity, my life, because that thing is costly. Okay, costly. Ain't no piece of money that will make me forget about who I am. Ain't nothing you could give me. I'm sorry. I will not sell my soul. I will not do that thing. It's not worth it. And I really hope that through this message, one of you will come to that groundbreaking conclusion. If you feel that you've been giving too much of yourself in the wrong areas, readjust, figure it out, change. If no one else around you wants to change, and you're like, why can't everybody change? You change. It's time. It's time. All right, and that's that. I hope y'all liked it again if you joined. It's Amanda Amore now. No more Amanda Love. And I hope to see y'all more of my videos. I might come on, depending on how things go. It's already 5 o'clock. If I do the next thing really fast, I might come back out here and I'll do my next message, my faith scope on pray for patience. Because let me tell y'all something. If you ain't got no patience, you better pray for that thing. So, but yeah, I appreciate everyone that got on. Thank you so much to everyone that invited their followers. If you're watching on the replay, please double tap on the screen for hearts. Your hearts still matter. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one. Thank you to everyone that joined.